Krishna.
Nee.
Hari Hari.
Niet Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari.
Er was eens een Tibetaanse prinses. Zij heette Yeshadawa, dat betekent wijsheid gelijk aan de maan. Op een dag had ze door concentratie en inzicht het stadium bereikt waarop ze haar toekomstige wedergeboorte zelf kon bepalen. Een bevriende monnik feliciteerde haar met haar spirituele succes en zei dat ze nu eindelijk als man kon incarneren en zo de verlichting kon bereiken. Prinses Wijsheid, gelijk aan de maan, bedankte de monnik en legde daarna de volgende gelofte af. Van nu af aan, tot het bereiken van de verlichting, zal ik alleen als vrouw incarneren en als vrouw de verlichting bereiken. Als voorbeeld en inspiratie voor alle vrouwen. Daarom kreeg Yeshadawa later de naam Aryatara, dat betekent edele bevrijdster, omdat zij door haar activiteit oneindig veel wezens op het pad naar de verlichting heeft geïnspireerd en begeleid.
Hello, ik ben Kay.
Rosie.
Hi. Kay.
Kay,
Yeah.
Rosie.
Oh, hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And you live here?
I live here in Amsterdam.
Okay. Beautiful.
This is my main residence and I sleep wherever I can in Amsterdam, wherever there's a bed. It's an old youth hostel and the building is actually way past its use-by date and we're planning to rebuild. So I've been working with an architect, you know, to get some design. But of course, money is always an issue. And I'm the director there.
Oh, you do?
I'm the teacher here and I'm the director there.
So you travel between Amsterdam
I
here,
drive backwards and forwards, yes.
Is everybody had? Have you had? Well, come on. Are you standing there?
When I first got ordained and I arrived back home at Sydney Airport 10 days after I was ordained, completely no hair. The stubble wasn't even starting to rise, you know, it was completely shaved. And I had these robes on. And my baggage got lost coming back from India. And I'm coming through to report that my baggage hadn't arrived. And they say, "This way, sir." Stuck the chest out. Madam. But the point is, you see someone dressed in a particular way and immediately the label gets placed on, you know, but you actually think that there is something inherently existing. There's some inherently existing nun here. But that is like a hallucination. Projecting that there's inherent existence there is one thing, but believing it to be so absolutely true. And this is what Lama Zopa Rinpoche says is completely ignorance. So I think it's always so important to understand why we even bother with this kind of subject. Okay? To remember that from the ignorance that grasps at inherent existence, the delusions arise, the anger, the hatred, the jealousy, the greed, and because of those delusions, we create harmful actions that bring problems to ourselves and to others. Rinpoche is saying the only way to apprehend instead the emptiness of inherent existence is to go through a process of analysis and try to find this inherently existent person Rinpoche suggests that I come here to Amsterdam, that I begin to manage the centre in Emst. It's out of my control that somehow Lama Zopa is running my life. But I can choose whether I wish to follow that advice or not. Now, I would not follow the advice of everyone. Someone like Lama Zopa, if he gives advice that it would be beneficial for me to do something, then that is based not on his idea of what is best, but more on what is best for me. Once Rinpoche asked me to live in Melbourne at Tara Institute, and I said, "Is this going to be beneficial for me?" And he said, "Kay, it will be beneficial for others, so of course it will be beneficial for you."
Now starting meeting?
Meeting starting Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock. Rinpoche comes first session.
Yeah.
Geshe also is welcome to come. Whatever you feel happy to do. Okay.
Oh.
There they are! There they are! Yoo-hoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Later.
What's Rinpoche doing? Rinpoche's winning the trolley. Yeah, Michaela. Hello, Rinpoche.
Hello.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Sorry, boy. Nice to see you.
What's your name?
Anna.
Anna.
We should go this way. We should go this way, Rinpoche. I'm okay, Rinpoche.
Good.
Been very busy.
Great. That's great.
There's many people coming for the meetings.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
The meetings
that they start next week.
meeting is at the center or
Yeah.
in the city?
The meetings at the centre in Emst.
Okay.
There's more than I think 105 people, directors and program coordinators coming. For me, Lama Zopa coming here helps to re-inspire, to again provide that kind of direction and demonstration and clarity of purpose that me as an ordinary human being needs. Is I the body? Is it the whole body? Or is it a part of the body? Is it the head? Is it the heart? Is it the brain? If it was any of these, then how could we say my head, my heart, my brain, even my body? So think about this. And now what about the mind? Is the I the same as the mind? That thing that perceives and thinks and experiences? can the I exist without the mind?
The Buddha's relics, the minute when you see, it has power to purify 1,000 even nirkama. This is a matter of many relics and substances by Nagarjuna. So that's very, very precious, very, very holy. Okay. This is Buddha Kashapa, Buddha before Shakyamuni Buddha. This is 16th karma. This is 16th karma's relic. 16th karma relic. This is also Buddha's head relic. It's, this is relic of Ananda, Buddha's attendant, Ananda. Then the text talks so much in Tibetan called Gungao. Ananda's relic, Buddha's attendant, Ananda. One way to use the relic is then when a person is dying, if you can get Buddha's relic in the mouth through the external substances, you see, then can help the mind save from the reincarnating in the lower realm. See, the person is protected from experiencing very heavy sufferings.
We are so grasping onto things being solid and permanent and inherently existing. And when you start to see that it doesn't exist that way and you start to listen a little bit, even if you haven't directly perceived it, wow, what a relief. And that actually brings an incredible level of happiness and bliss. So I think it's worthwhile doing.
I haven't quite gotten to the stage where I really, really feel what we're talking about here, and that's what's important, because I do a lot of meditation, and I feel a lot of what we're doing here. I feel the karma, I feel what you did with, converting problems to, making them
like ice cream. Yes.
Making them your friends, that I can feel, I can really feel. This is hard.
I mean, I've been sort of also trying to get this sorted out for years, but I found that some teachers teach me more on an intellectual level. Yeah. They teach me on a technical level, to look at this and to look at that. Then others teach me on a more heartfelt.
That's what you need, though. That's what you need.
But you need both.
Yeah, I guess, yes.
You need both.
For me, I need to feel it. I need to say, there it is.
Well, this is Lama Zopa for you, honey.
Yeah, wow.
Lama Zopa, the times that I've sat there and he's gone on and on and on, but actually, he's really been able to lead you to that feeling of emptiness, which I can't say. I think His Holiness Dalai Lama has also done that for me. But many of my other teachers have been more on the technical and intellectual aspect.
Yeah, even though I think if you do learn the technical aspects, you will draw your own conclusions. You'll draw the lines between the dots yourself through life's experiences, because you'll fall back on that knowledge.
Yeah.
But, it's a challenge. This is a real challenge, but okay, good.
I'm in a position where I present the teachings of the Buddha, but I don't have the realizations that would qualify me to call myself teacher. When you're talking about a teacher in the context of a spiritual path, then along with that word teacher goes a lot more responsibility and a lot more wisdom. The difference between my teacher Lama Zopa and myself is that Lama Zopa is an extraordinary being. Every breath is really devoted towards others. I also have that wish to free all sentient beings from suffering and leading them to the highest long-lasting state of enlightenment or happiness. I can't do it 100% of the time. I'm not there yet. So there's a difference in terms of where Lama Zopa is and where I am. I'm a beginner. I'm just, baby Buddhist beginner. A year ago, I met with Lama Zopa, and he said that it looked good to actually stay and rebuild, but to make a building that seems to have harmony with the environment and promotes a very good feeling for the students to be there.
Wanneer breken we het oude gedeelte af of niet? Wat doe je met het bestaande huis? We hebben natuurlijk niet het simpelste ontwerp te pakken.
It would really be lovely to have these two wings, like the compassion and the wisdom, joining together to this wise, warm heart.
Het zijn twee dingen eigenlijk. Het is dus het omsluitende gedeelte, als de vleugels van de beurt, met het hart hier in het midden. En dan zie je hier ook het lichaam met de brains. En dan hier overheen komen die vleugels.
I mean, if it was just going to be some weekend vacation place for people, it probably doesn't need to be so purpose designed. But if you think about it being a real study place where people can, well, not only study, but they can actually transform their lives.
Je kan ook zeggen van dat je hiermee start. En als je daar voldoende funds voor gereisd hebt, is dat Nederlands? Dan kan je dit vast gaan bouwen. En ondertussen kan je die bijbouwen en dat vervangt dat gebouw dan. Ja. En dan kan je die kant bouwen waar dat gebouw was. En dan kan het compleet worden.
You made me so happy. Really, to have like an idea, a little vision in the mind, and then to see you be able to translate it. I feel like this is really starting to move now.
Yeah?
Yeah, because somehow, we had to get some images, get it much clearer for people, for them to feel, to do the fundraising.
Yeah.
Because they say to try and fundraise without having the images, they find very difficult.
Yeah.
So getting the concept together of what we're going to do and getting the images together, which is what's happening now.
We call it the kip of het ei.
Yeah. But I don't want to hold it. It needs to be put in the back of the tent. To be an effective manager, it is very essential that you bring in these techniques of your motivation, why you are doing this job, and that you use the techniques that you find within Buddhism. For example, there are techniques to help you transform what might be difficult situations into opportunities. And it's that whole mind shift, turning your mind from going, oh, this is not going the way I want, into, okay, this is the way it is, what can I do to make the most of this? That lamp will only just give enough for Rinpoche, to see, but Rinpoche's head actually stays quite in darkness. It really wasn't very bright last night. See, this light's out. I think for us ordinary beings, it takes quite a long time to know everything there is to know. It's very easy to be like a parrot, to have heard something or to have read something and then be able to repeat that. The challenge comes with reading or learning something and then investigating that more deeply. meditating about it, thinking about it, till the point that knowledge becomes some understanding, something that you know, that comes from a very wise and skillful foundation. To be able to develop that level of wisdom understanding, that level of realization, so important to have a teacher who keeps guiding you. So we might have had teachings on one subject, and we might know that subject, but you have more teachings, you do more practice, more meditation, more investigation, so that it becomes deeper. And you see that there is actually many layers and complexities. And so it's so important to have this relationship with the teacher, to continue to study and to practice, to deepen that level of knowledge, that wisdom understanding. But why would you do it? It's not just to say, hey, look at me, I know all this stuff, but it's more in terms of being of benefit for others, being able to truly help them, and, by the way, helping yourself.
Original plan is to do 21 Tara, a blessing permission to practice, but sorry, I changed it into something else. Into something else. So white Tara, still Tara, it is still Tara. Didn't change from Tara. It is still there, Tara. But white Tara for long life. Each one is said to specify the different problems of certain beings. Whatever problem that you have, sicknesses or spirit harm or whatever, when you focus on that particular Tara to specify that problem, then you chant that mantra and then do meditation. There's worth of taking long life initiation. Trying to make the life useful for others. That's the worthwhile reason to have long life.
Where is Lama Lundrup? Is Lama Lundrup in there?
No, not yet. I've brought Gershula in there.
This is to be used for the wish balloons. Can someone please take it? Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome here on behalf of the board of Maitreya Institute, celebrating 25 years of Maitreya Institute. Particularly I welcome, of course, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, the spiritual leader of the Foundation for the Preservation of the Mahayan Tradition, which is the sort of umbrella organization of Maitreya Institute. So we're really very honored to have you here, Rinpoche. Thank you.
We're not just a little group of Tibetan Buddhist practitioners sitting in the Velua that not many people know about, but we're actually able to practice the teachings of the Buddha to be able to bring benefit to as wide a number of beings as possible, so that we may be able to offer social services in terms of education for children, for teenagers, helping them to develop the skills to be able to live life in a harmonious and a peaceful and positive way, which I think we all would admit that in these days of increasing violence and terrorism in our world and fear, we need something. Along with services for children, our hope is also to broaden the services that we're able to offer for people who are dying or who are seriously ill.
Lama Thupten Yeshe said, okay, I give you the name Maitreya Institute, but that means you have to stay existing until Maitreya Buddha comes.
if you were going to follow the advice of anybody, you would need to have a certain level of confidence that their motivation is pure, that they really do have the wisdom to know what is beneficial for you, and to maintain your own discerning wisdom, being able to know whether this is something worth following or not.
Sending up prayers up into the sky as a means or a condition for our luck and merit to expand and to work well for us. So therefore, when one's merit or luck is taken further up into the sky, then things will be successful for oneself. Om Mani Padme Hum. May the Okay, I'll restart again. May the mainland Chinese government officials able to realize that His Holiness the Dalai Lama is embodiment of all Buddha's compassion. There goes one bit. Devote and offer. May they devote and offer service to His Holiness. Bring His Holiness in China and all the billions of people enjoy happiness of sunshine as well as total freedom and happiness in Tibet.
Great, wonderful. One could just go grasping after the teachings, but that's not what it's about. And if one expects or starts to think that the only time you really practice is when you're around the teacher, then you're missing the point. I've been very fortunate, incredibly fortunate with all that I've had so far. It's time I worked. I can't just take, months off at a time and follow my teacher around. That's not. That time's past. I have to try and work. Now, I have to really put it into practice and see what I can do to be of benefit for others.
DVD's bestellen van onze programma's? Bel 040 282 0022. Wilt u meer weten over onze uitzendingen? Vraag dan nu de gratis programmagids aan. Bel 035 629 3191 of kijk op www.boeddhistischeomroep.nl.